Hello everyone, and I'm Autobot Sonic the Telltale Gamer, bringing you everything Transformers, Telltale games, and more. For today's EarthSpark review, we're going to be looking at Transformers EarthSpark Season 2, Episode 6, Spitfire. So, I'm just going to say right now, this is without a doubt the absolute best episode of Transformers EarthSpark Season 2A, in my opinion. Almost as good as a lot of the best episodes in Season 1. Definitely up there with Security Protocols, What Dwells Within, and a lot of the other episodes in Season 1. It's such a fantastic episode, a great introduction to Spitfire's character, and easily has the best fight scene, in my opinion, in the entirety of EarthSpark, besides Optimus and Megatron battling Skywarp and Nova Storm back in Season 1. It is an absolutely incredible episode from start to finish, and today I'm going to go explain to you all exactly why this episode is the best one currently in Season 2. We start Episode 6 with Twitch and Wheeljack on the hunt for more Ember Shards, where we see the two of them at a forest at night in Witwicky, with Twitch taking control of all of these, like, other copy drones that Wheeljack has created, which he refers to as 2.0 drones, that they basically upgraded versions of the drones that Twitch scanned her alt mode based off of. And I love, too, this little, like, cute thing where Twitch has apparently named all of the drones after different members of her family, and even, like, stylized them to look like different members of her family. Like, for example, one has a little cardboard cyber shield on one of its arms that she calls Schlobby. She has another one that has a cyber blade in its right arm that she calls Schmo to resemble Mo, and then one with Thrash's goggles that she calls Smash. It's just a small thing, but I think it's really cute. But anyway, as Twitch is trying to get all the drones to work together, she struggles with it, consider a bit malfunctioning, and Wheeljack explains that those with the 2.0 update that these drones have, it's going to take a while to get used to them, but they do have several new useful abilities, such as hyperspeed mode, an active camo like invisibility, cloaking field, and I believe the last one was like intense like turbine or something like that. But regardless, the main two are the stealth mode and the hyperspeed. But anyway, as Twitch is trying to get all the drones to work together, she stops when she notices an Ember Shard just lying in the forest in the middle of Witwicky. So she goes to scoop it all up, but that is when Soundwave runs into her, and Soundwave immediately starts deploying Ravage and Laserbeak trying to get the shard away from her, and this results in a fight between Laserbeak and Twitch in the sky. In the process, though, the two of them are grabbing the Ember Shard capsule so hard that the cold capsule shatters, and the shard falls out of it. And as it falls down into the ground, it passes through some clouds, which causes, it's just enough water. Nightshade explains this later on in the episode, but I'm just going to go ahead and explain now, that because the Ember Shard passes through a cloud, the condensation in the cloud is enough to make the Ember Shard wet enough and therefore give birth to Spitfire. So as the Ember Shard falls through, Spitfire's body is formed around it, and the second Laserbeak sees Spitfire born, apparently Aftermath has been causing a lot of trouble back in the Decepticon base, so after Laserbeak just dips out, not wanting to deal with another Chaos Terran. But this doesn't stop Twitch from trying to save Spitfire, as the two of them are now falling. Twitch hands one of the drones to Spitfire, telling her to transform, otherwise she'll fall to her death, because they're so high up. As they're doing this, though, Spitfire she's like thrashing about, seems to be really hesitant of being around Twitch, but eventually does does agree to Twitch and scans the drone, therefore gaining the same alt mode as Twitch. And I absolutely love this little introduction for Spitfire, that it definitely differentiates her from Twitch enough in this beginning bit so that she feels like her own unique character and not just a Twitch clone because she has the exact same design as Twitch. She's her own unique character, even like through this little bit of introduction, and I really like that. But anyway, Twitch seems to be happy that she now has a proper Chaos Terran with her, instead of having to just watch Breakdown, like, sort of groom Aftermath into being a bad influence, essentially. So Twitch offers to not make the same mistakes that Breakdown did with Aftermath and take Spitfire back to the Malta homestead to introduce her to everyone else. And I absolutely love this introduction where first Spitfire just seems to be, like, sort of uncaring, but also sort of nonchalant about being introduced to all of them. My favorite part is when Bumblebee introduces himself to Spitfire, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Bumblebee, I'm such a good Autobot," and then Spitfire just looks at him with the most unimpressed face whatsoever, just because she just doesn't believe in any of Bumblebee's theatrics. I think that's really funny. And again, just Zelda Williams does such a great job of making Spitfire feel like her own character, but at the same time, kind of having some of Twitch's mannerisms, because since she kind of is a copy of Twitch, but she's still her own character. I like how Zelda Williams' voice acting sort of branches that between being similar to Twitch, but also her own character. And in case you missed my video talking about EarthSpark Season 2, when the first trailer came out, Zelda Williams has done a lot of voice acting in the past 20 years, where you might remember her as the voice of Kuvira in The Legend of Korra, Mona Lisa in the 2012 Ninja Turtles series, or as Casey Jones in Rise of the Teen Ninja Turtles. And it's so cool to have Zelda Williams here in EarthSpark. She does a great job as Spitfire, and I argue she is the best brand new character introduced in Season 2. But anyway, after Twitch is still showing Spitfire around to everyone. Well, everyone seems to be mostly okay with seeing Spitfire. Jawbreaker at first is absolutely in no way into having Spitfire stay with them, because apparently this takes place quite shortly after the events of the last episode, which is episode 5, Togetherness, and clearly Jawbreaker's wounds are still very fresh from being betrayed by Aftermath, which to this day we don't know if Aftermath truly did betray him or he just misinterpreted Jawbreaker's words, which sadly we never know, but I'm gonna give Aftermath the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, when everyone else seems to be at the very least, tentative with, Spitfire being there, Jawbreaker just flat out does not want her around. Everyone else is either cool with her or we had some problems with Chaos Terrans, but, it'd be wrong to shun you just because of our one bad experience. The best case in my opinion, is how Dot treats Spitfire. So, at first, while everyone is mostly just cool with Spitfire, and Jawbreaker first says, oh, I don't want a Chaos Terran here, and Dot then says this.
We haven't had the best experiences with the other Chaos Terran, but we can't judge Spitfire based on Aftermath's actions.
So the fact Doc literally says, oh, we've had some bad experiences with Chaos Terrans in the past, but it'd be wrong to treat you poorly just because of what Aftermath did, that to me shows a lot of growth in Dot's part, because if you don't remember, back in episode 4 of Season 1, House Rules, Dot was under the belief that all Decepticons were bad. After Swindle attacked Bumblebee at that episode, she told Mo and Thrash, you shouldn't be with Decepticons because they made the choice to become Decepticons. They weren't born with those badges. But then, of course, that's when Mo brought the clarification about, oh, but Megatron was good. What about him? And Dot said, oh, well, Megatron truly changed. But because of what Thrash and Mo taught her in that episode, I think Dot is more lenient towards Spitfire here, that she wants to give her the benefit of the doubt, because it would be rude to just shun her immediately just because she's a Chaos Terran like Aftermath is. And until this point, where unlike Aftermath actually tried to kill Robbie, Mo, Twitch, and Hashtag back in episode 1 here, Spitfire hasn't done anything wrong. The worst she did was kick away Twitch when she was trying to get her to scan the drone, and that was because literally Spitfire was born falling to her death. And she was scared in that moment, but now that things have calmed down and she has clearly seen that Twitch isn't her enemy, Spitfire is willing to give this all a chance. And I like that. So, of course, Dot says, despite Jawbreaker's insisting that they shouldn't let the Spitfire stay, Dot says that it's okay to have her, but Jawbreaker says he's going to keep a close eye on her. And now, again, a lot of people are saying that, oh, this goes out of Jawbreaker's character because he's always the one that's always willing to get everyone a chance. Literally, his core value is acceptance. Why is he rejecting Spitfire? Again, he literally synced with Aftermath back in the previous episode, which is arguably the most intimate thing two Terrans can do together. I'd argue it's the same thing as pretty much Gem Fusion in Steven Universe, where it's such a sacred, intimate moment between two Terrans, and that was Jawbreaker at his most vulnerable. The fact that he was betrayed by Aftermath after such a personal and intimate moment, I think it's totally understandable to see why Jawbreaker was so hurt by that and why he's so wary of Spitfire because of this now. So I really think people gotta understand that Jawbreaker's not acting out of character here, and they're just reading his character wrong. But anyway, Spitfire's little tour of the Malta homestead ends with Twitch showing her a dugout, and Spitfire seems to, again, also not be impressed by a dugout, just thinking it's kind of lame and just boring. But then Twitch says, oh, you could live here too, you're a Terran just like us, so you're more than welcome to be part of the family.
All of you live here?
We've lived with the Maltos since we were born. You could live here too. Be part of the fam.
Could be worse, I guess.
Never once does Twitch say, oh, you're one of us now. You're part of this family whether you like it or not. She literally says, oh, this can be all of yours too. You can choose to be part of our family if you want to. And Spitfire doesn't immediately say, oh, no thanks, I don't need family, I'm fine by myself. She literally says, and I quote, there are worse places I could be. So it seems as though Spitfire is okay with being with the Maltos, which kind of contradicts something she says later on in this episode, but I think that might just be because of events that happen throughout the episode. But for now, I genuinely think Spitfire is okay with staying with the Maltos for the most part. Maybe she doesn't get along with a lot of them, as she's shown she's not really fond of Bumblebee or Jawbreaker, but she seems to be okay with staying with Twitch and all them. And then after that, though, Spitfire asks Twitch what's up with all the Emberstone shards that they've collected in the middle. And so Twitch explains that, oh, this is all we've collected the Emberstones so far, and while we're trying to stop Starscream and the Decepticons of getting all the other ones. And then she explains, oh, so like these shards are basically how Chaos Terrans are born. They're each born from a shard of these. And then Spitfire's like, huh, so I'm born from one of these, huh? And like there's this moment where Spitfire sort of reaches out to one of the Emberstone shards, but Twitch kind of stops her, says like, alright, like, yeah, you really shouldn't touch that, but come on, I want to introduce you to Optimus and everyone because I gotta go meet with him for something. But Spitfire seems to have a very fondness towards the Emberstone shards, and it's never stated in this episode. I'll have to rewatch episodes 7 and 9 to see if there's something there, but I don't think this is ever really elaborated on. The way I like to see it is perhaps maybe Spitfire sees some sort of connection here where she thinks, these Ember shards created me. So what if this means, like, and I don't really vibe with a lot of these Terrans and Maltos. What if perhaps I could take these Ember shards and create people that are more like me, that people who really understand who I am? I think that's what Spitfire is trying to do here, that maybe while she doesn't feel the biggest connection with the Maltos and Terrans, she's okay being around them, but she doesn't really feel like she belongs with them. She feels that maybe if she was to create more Chaos Terrans with these Emberstone shards, she could be around people that truly she feels like she belongs against. But again, this is all speculation. It's not confirmed or anything, but I'm just going to go ahead and believe that. And it's a really cool, yet another cool character building moment for Spitfire. So Twitch takes Spitfire to the Autobot base so she can introduce her to Elita, Megatron, and Optimus. And there's one moment here that it's never really brought up by anyone, but I think it's a nice little character building moment where Twitch is helping Elita move some boxes throughout the Autobot base, and without even asking Spitfire to help out, Spitfire offers to do it herself. And granted, there are a few points here where like Spitfire picks up the boxes in very like extra ways and even like makes a show out of it. She's carrying like a lot more boxes than Twitch too. I think this sort of basically is a very subtle way of basically showing off Spitfire's desire to basically be the best at what she does, and that she wants to prove to these Autobots that she's capable by immediately taking all these boxes and carrying them, even though she seems to at least not think very highly of Megatron and Optimus. Like, she makes fun of Megatron's name, saying, oh, that's a mouthful, do I call you Mega or Tron? And then when Twitch introduces her to Optimus, Spitfire says, oh, why is everyone over here so old? And then at first, Twitch is just so embarrassed trying to tell them all that, oh, Spitfire's literally just born today, she doesn't know better and all that. But after that, though, Optimus tells Twitch that the reason why he had summoned her to the Autobot base was because she had been selected out of all of her siblings to be part of a super secret Autobot mission that Elita, and Megatron are going to be doing. And at this point, Twitch is absolutely so ecstatic, but asks Optimus why won't Thrash and the other Terrans be allowed as well. But then Megatron explains that the mission only has enough for one more slot, but he says that Thrash and the others will get their chances to do missions as well. But they just felt that after everything Twitch has done this season and last season, they think Twitch really is ready to be basically an honorary Autobot. So Twitch is at first so excited, ready to go get ready for the mission, but that's when Spitfire comes in, overhearing everything, and then she asks them all, oh, why can't I be on this mission? Because I have the exact same skill set as Twitch, but can do even more than her. And at this point, then, Twitch starts to kind of have a little spat with Spitfire, where she says, oh, well, like, you're not better than me just because you have more stuff you can do. I've had so many years of experience, I've put in the effort, I've earned this. But then Spitfire's like, but I can literally do everything you do and more, so I really think I should be part of it. So at this point, Spitfire and Twitch are arguing with each other, fighting about who should be allowed on this Autobot mission. And because of this, Megatron decides that they should go ahead and start the Polyhex Protocol Gauntlet, which, according to him and Optimus, was this big relay race, like, gladiator fight thing that several Cybertronians competed in to see who was the best out of them all. Kind of just like basically a big Iron Man biathlon marathon race, essentially. And so Spitfire and Twitch immediately agreed to this, and that sets up the second half of this episode, which I think is the best part of it, in my opinion. So now we cut to this big open field in Witwiki, where all the Autobots have set up this big obstacle course for Twitch and Spitfire to compete in, but also the rest of the Malto family, because apparently the Polyhex circuit, according to Megatron, is something that's competed with by an entire clan, so therefore all the Maltos, though Dot opts not to compete in it and act instead as a referee slash coach for the race as well. So in this race, it's Twitch, Spitfire, Thrash, Jawbreaker, Nightshade, Robbie, Mo, and even Alex. And I love Alex in this, where Alex is just so excited to be part of Polyhex Circuit, because of course, as a big Transformers fan, it's probably his dream to be in a big Autobot like race, essentially. So immediately Alex changes into this like sports athleticism outfit that he has, and it's really cool because we've never actually seen Alex wear anything besides his normal like college professor uniform. So it's really interesting to see that underneath Alex's clothes, he's actually got a bunch of traditional Filipino tattoos on his body, which is, again, really cool to show off how Alex is a Filipino man, and having him with all these tribal tattoos on, it's just another way to further express his character's background to the audience in a non-verbal way. I think that's so cool. It also, of course, besides it being like a comical moment as well, that Alex just happens to wear this gym uniform underneath his usual work outfit, but I just think it's really cool to see. But anyway, that then starts the proper race, where essentially there's several obstacles throughout it, and the last person through each obstacle will be eliminated until there's only one left at the end. So with that, the race begins, and we start off with this little, like, mud crawl under, like, a bunch of, wire, where Grimlock is in his bot mode shooting flames over everyone's heads. At first, Twitch and Spitfire are constantly in the lead, keeping everyone else in the dirt, but Jawbreaker gets knocked out here because he ends up accidentally going through Robbie and Mo's section of the net, so he gets all tangled up in them. Then after that, everyone goes through like some tire hopping, where Dot shoots like a high pressure like fire hydrant hose at them, which ends up hitting Thrash and knocking him out. Then after that, we go to a tire swing, like where they have to like cross a pit swing on a rope, while Alita's in her alt mode spewing mud at everyone. And this time, Nightshade fails because they end up getting hit in the face with some mud by Alita. But I love how, while Twitch and Spitfire are still leading, Alex is still doing his best to keep up the whole time. There's this one point, though, where Alex is about to get knocked out here, but instead, Nightshade gets knocked out first, and when they fall into this little water pit in between the two gaps of the swing, Alex gets stuck on the right side, so Nightshade just pushes him up so that he can continue the race, and Nightshade gets eliminated, which is really cute to see Nightshade go ahead and help their dad out in this moment. It's just a very small one, but I do like it. That then leads to the last two parts of this race, where first, it looks like there's like a push-up section or a pull-up section where Twitch and Spitfire each get on their bars and like start doing like a million pull-ups before they move on to the next bit. But then after that, hashtag Robbie and Mo go to do their pull-ups, and all three of them get eliminated at once, because when hashtag goes to do her pull-ups, she ends up ripping the whole bar off and ends up ruining Robbie and Mo's bars as well, so they're eliminated as well. This is like the one part of the race that I don't think was done right, because to me it feels like Robbie and Mo could have kept going, but they were just knocked out because hashtag messed up. But despite this, though, Alex is still able to do it because he does it on a hashtag's bar, which is really funny to see. Like, he struggles to do like even one pull-up when Twitch and Spitfire manage to do like 100 all on their own. But it's a nice little moment at this point. So with Robbie, Mo, and hashtag out, that just leaves Twitch, Spitfire, and Alex as the final three to left standing. So at this point, they have to go ahead and climb up these big telephone poles covered in like grease or oil by Bumblebee. And so Twitch and Spitfire first are struggling, trying to shimmy their way up it, until they see Alex grab out two like brass knuckle daggers and start stabbing them into the pole and use them as like arm holds to climb up the pole. So with that, Twitch and Spitfire then take off their wings, start using them as daggers to like stab into the poles. And at this point, still Twitch and Spitfire are still taunting each other the whole time, trying to make it up. And then Spitfire gets a little cocky towards the end, where she's doing it only with one hand in a way to one-up Twitch, but because of this, Spitfire slips a little, and therefore Twitch gets the lead. So that then gets to the final points where Twitch, Spitfire, and Alex each have to do zip lines, like from the top of the telephone pole to this other cliff, and then just sprint to the finish. And it looks like Alex is going to win at first, but then because of Alex's weight, he gets stuck halfway through the zip line, so Twitch is able to overpass him and beat him. So now, while Alex is still struggling, trying to make it in second now when Twitch is clearly going to win, Spitfire doesn't want to get eliminated in this last leg of the race. So instead, when Spitfire is doing her part of zip line, to make sure Alex doesn't come before her, Spitfire throws one of her wings at the pole where Alex's zipline ends and cuts it, nearly making Alex fall to his death. So as he's clinging on to the zipline, like crying out for Twitch to help him, Twitch is about to cross the finish line when she hears Alex crying out for help. So at this point, Twitch throws the race, running back to help save Alex. And there's, for some reason, I don't know why they go so hard in the shot, but there's this really, really beautiful shot of Twitch holding Alex in like the stormy night sky with Megatron's alt mode blacking out the sun, like almost like an eclipse. And I don't know why it's so beautiful, but it's honestly a really, really good shot in my opinion. And I think this right here is proof that just because 88 Pictures animated this show, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. This episode alone is proof that EarthSpark Season 2 can still have good animation. They just chose to sort of cut corners in the last few episodes. It's kind of sad, but I do understand that to prevent just basically crunch time like they did with Icon Creative in Season 1, they cut a few corners in like less intense episodes, which I understand. But for this episode, 88 Pictures definitely went all out, and I'm so happy with them for that. So with Twitch throwing the race to save Alex, Spitfire ends up winning the race. Then when she's like hyping herself up, excited to see everyone cheering her on, she's confused when no one is doing that, but instead being around Twitch and Alex and congratulating her instead. And at that point, Optimus says that despite Spitfire technically having won the race first, Twitch is crowned the winner of the Polyhex Gauntlet because she demonstrated the true qualities of an Autobot by putting aside the mission to save her family, which again seems to be the whole theme of this season. We saw it back in episode 1 when Twitch was stressing to Robbie, you can't be risking your life just for this mission. Your life is important to us. You matter to us more than this mission does, and you should care about yourself more because of that. And Robbie learned that lesson by the end of episode 1. Here, though, Spitfire doesn't learn that lesson, and we get what is arguably, I think, not only the best fight in this entire show besides Optimus and Megatron versus the Seekers in Season 1. I just think this is just such a good monologue for Spitfire and really cements her as, honestly, in my opinion, the greatest villain EarthSpark has had since Agent Croft. Congratulations to Ilmanovsky and Ward. You did it once again. You created a villain better than Agent Croft, and I absolutely love Spitfire for that. Because pretty much, it's funny too, considering how Spitfire literally is a color-coded copy of Twitch. It's funny, she's pretty much the Shadow the Hedgehog of EarthSpark, where she's a perfect copy of Twitch, meant to be better than her in every way, has even more abilities than Twitch, but at the same time, her whole character, at least just like how Shadows was in Sonic Adventure 2, is literally she wants to be the superior drone Terran. She wants to be better than Twitch in everything. She wants to be a winner. And so when Spitfire realizes that everyone likes Twitch more, even though she's technically inferior to Spitfire, she can't stand that. She blows up on Optimus and Megatron saying, "Why is Twitch the winner? Because I didn't know about these rules. That's not fair." And because of that, actually, that's another point I want to bring up here, because a lot of people I've seen have been taking Spitfire's side here, saying that, oh, Spitfire didn't know better, she's a soft baby girl who just wasn't taught the rules purposely, she was forced into everything by Twitch. Never at one point in this episode did Twitch ever force Spitfire to anything. The only thing she did force her to was to make her scan the drone to save her own life. Any time when, back in the dugout, when Twitch literally was introducing her to everyone, she didn't say, "You're part of family now." She said, "You can live here too if you want to." And yet here, people are assuming that, oh, no one explains to Spitfire what the rules are, so she's justified in being angry. Okay, I'll give you that. she was justified here, but listen to this. Listen to what Twitch and Spitfire say right here.
We don't harm family, ever.
They're not my family. I never asked to be part of this clown show. I never asked for these stupid rules.
Literally, Twitch lays it out right here. She explains to Spitfire what she did wrong. The fact that she says, you don't harm humans if you want to be an Autobot. You don't harm family. And then Spitfire says, like, now normally, how a normal person would react in this situation is, if Spitfire just learned, she would be like, oh, that's the case? Okay, my bad then, I was in the wrong, I won't harm humans again, I won't harm your family again. But what does Spitfire do? She doubles down on this fact. She says, I didn't ask to be part of this clown show, and I didn't ask for your stupid rules. I think that says a lot about Spitfire's character here. The fact that it's not so much that she's a bad person, though. She definitely can be redeemed, but it's just more so, it's just a misunderstanding between Twitch and Spitfire. Granted, reminder, Twitch doesn't know everything. Just because she's had everything in Season 1, she's still a child. She's only a year old in Cybertronian years, which I guess is probably like around 15, Robbie's age roughly in human years. But still, Twitch isn't a fully grown being yet. She can still make mistakes, so of course she's going to snap to anger and condemn Spitfire for this, because she literally, Spitfire tried to kill her father! Are you telling me you wouldn't be pissed at someone if they tried to kill your parent too? It just, oh my god, I see people saying that when everyone, for the past few weeks, I've been seeing people say, oh, the Chaos Terrans did nothing wrong, or they were born evil. No, they weren't born evil. They just were misunderstood by the Terrans, who are also children, mind you, and it's just bad communication all around. No one, I mean, granted, more so, the Terrans are in the right here over the Chaos Terrans, but still, it's just, oh my god, I can't stand people mischaracterizing the Terrans and the Chaos Terrans because of this season. It's just so frustrating because it's all right there. People are just refusing to see it. But anyway, at this point, Spitfire just blows up on Twitch and tackles her, sending her and two of them flying up into the sky where they get into this fight. And by God, this fight is phenomenal. And I should have expected that because this fight was storyboarded by none other than the one and only Kevin Molina Ortiz, who did the opening fight in episode 1 of this season. He also did Breakdown and Bumblebee's Escape in season 1, episode 14. And of course, Optimus and Megatron versus Skywarp and Novastorm in episode 9 of season 1. And it's really funny too that I make this whole debate that how like Twitch and Spitfire are essentially the Sonic and Shadow of EarthSpark, because it was literally just announced yesterday that the upcoming Sonic X Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings OVA movie animated shorts that are going to be coming out before the game does, those episodes were also storyboarded by Kevin Molina Ortiz, and he's going to be doing the storyboards for the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie coming out this year. So, it's just, everything this man touches is gold. We gotta get Kevin Molina Ortiz on more Transformers stuff, because he's just done so much good work, and this fight is so good. 88 Pictures this is easily 88 Pictures' best episode in terms of animation outside of the Season 2A finale. It's so good. So the fight starts with Twitch and Spitfire grappling in the sky in this, like, the middle of this big storm all around them. It's raining, pouring rain all over them. It's so dark. The weather and atmosphere of this fight is so good. And I just love how Spitfire here is just arguing with Twitch even more, saying that, oh, because I was faster than you, I crossed the finish line first, I didn't let weak emotions get in my way, that makes me better. Just your stupid rules don't make you better than me. And I think that's a fun thing to analyze here, that the fact that Spitfire apparently values power. She values skill over compassion and empathy. And it really feels like Twitch and Spitfire are pretty much the Optimus and Megatron of the Terrans. It really feels like Twitch values family and honor and all that, while Spitfire is the one who honors power and all that, just like Megatron does in a lot of continuities. It's so good, and I think just a lot of people who are hating on EarthSpark Season 2 just because of the animation or the change in writers forget that. This fight is just such a good character dive into both Twitch and Spitfire's characters, and the action is just so good. It's a cherry on top of it, like where you have this one part of Twitch just shooting her blaster like a machine gun all over the sky trying to shoot Spitfire, but Spitfire's just moving too fast for her with her light speed ability. She just can't keep up with her, and Spitfire taunts Twitch for that, basically saying, oh, you couldn't hit me if you wanted to. I'm better than you in everything. Oh, it's just so good. And Spitfire just keeps taunting Twitch throughout this entire fight, saying that she's too soft and too weak-willed to do what needs to be done, and that's why she'll never beat her, even though she technically did in the by demonstrating her Autobot-like qualities. And Twitch tries to explain this to Spitfire, but then she's like, no, that doesn't matter. I don't care what they say. The only way you're a winner is if you beat me, but that's not gonna happen because you're too weak. And so Spitfire just keeps beating up on Twitch the whole time, even when Twitch doesn't want to fight Spitfire. And at the same time, Spitfire like grabs her like when she's in her stealth mode, saying like, oh, if you think love, family, and being picked for a mission make you a winner, I'm gonna take all that away from you. I'm gonna take away everything you love so you can never feel like a winner, just like you made me never feel like a winner. And that is what makes Twitch finally snap. The fact that Spitfire literally said, I'm gonna go, pretty much said, I'm gonna kill your family if you think that makes you better than me. And that is just, that finally snaps, brings Twitch over the edge, and she's like, okay, Spitfire, you want to go, let's go. And oh my god, I love this fight so much because the choreography is absolutely phenomenal here. Like, Kevin Molina Ortiz did so good in this fight. Like, everything from that first punch, like, Twitch and Spitfire give to them. They do like the anime like Dragon Ball like double face punch to each other, and there's like the lightning crackling in the background, and then they start swinging their swords together, like clashing constantly. One of my favorite parts though is when Twitch eventually gets so fed up with Spitfire, she even like starts to cause like a giant red tornado, like that one tornado move Sonic and Shadow could do in Sonic Heroes. It reminds me of that, where Twitch starts making a tornado with her wings and swords, creating this giant red tornado, and Spitfire tries to copy her, doing like a blue tornado, and it's just, with all the chaos and everything around them, it's just absolutely beautiful. And this is proof that 88 Pictures can do good animation. Just because, oh, they did the Megamind sequel that was really horrible. Okay, yeah, that movie sucked, but just everything that 88 Pictures does isn't bad. Look at the Ghost of Barack from Star Wars Visions, or Troll Hunters and the other Tales of Arcadia series on Netflix. 88 Pictures can do good stuff, it's just they just didn't do a good job on the Megamind thing. And it's not fair to them to have them be so ostracized just for one bad product. It's just, oh my god, because this really shows 88 Pictures can do good stuff. And I'm tired of people saying that, oh, 88 Pictures just is bad, this show sucks because 88 Pictures is on it. That's not true at all. Okay, little rants aside, despite Spitfire trying to match Twitch with her little storm tornado ability here, Twitch's tornado proves to be stronger, and Spitfire just gets sucked into her, getting sent all over the place, getting really dizzy, and then Twitch emerges from her tornado with her sword blades. It looks like ready to cut Spitfire's head off, and she does like one of those things where like she slashes at Spitfire and stops behind her, and it looks like, oh, like everything freezes. You think like Spitfire's head's gonna like roll off her body, but no, Spitfire is totally fine. And then we get this absolutely beautiful shot, absolutely beautiful, of what Twitch did. She didn't attack Spitfire, she instead cut through the clouds behind Spitfire to reveal this really beautiful sunrise or sunset. And I think this just basically perfectly encapsulates what Twitch is, in that despite her still hating Spitfire for threatening her family, she can't bring herself to kill Spitfire because she knows better than that. And it's only when that happens, that's when Twitch doesn't realize that she made an error in bringing Spitfire home, where she says, oh, I never should have taken you home, I never should have tried to make you part of our family. And then Spitfire says, I never wanted to. But that's the thing, Twitch realizes that she made that mistake, but she doesn't say now, oh, you're a threat now, I'm gonna kill you. She instead says, just leave me and my family go. Obviously, Twitch doesn't want anything to do with Spitfire, but she's still willing to just let Spitfire leave in peace. She doesn't want to just be involved with her. She wants Spitfire to be happy, but she just can't, but she's not like condemning her. She's just condemning her from her family, which I think is a fair point to make. But anyway, after Twitch cuts through the clouds and says that like she has won this fight, Spitfire asks Twitch why didn't she kill her, because she basically had her dead to rights at that point. And Twitch says like, that's not who I am. That's not what an Autobot is. And she says again, I don't want you near my family. but I'm not going to kill you, so please just leave us alone, and we'll leave you be as well.
You almost had me. You could have won.
Winning isn't important. How you win is.
And so that's where it seems to be ending, where Twitch is getting ready to head back to Robbie and Nightshade, who are flying up at the same time to try and check up on her, because Robbie sensed her anger through his cybersleep connection. But just as Twitch is about to leave, that's when Spitfire grabs her head from behind and initiates something that she calls pairing mode, where she reveals she's going to take control of Twitch's body, and therefore essentially have Twitch screw up the mission and attack her own family because of that. And this, I know a lot of people on Twitter have been making fun of this one meme pic of Spitfire and Twitch's faces giving like the most deadpan stares, because Spitfire is sort of like syncing up with Twitch in this scene. And I mean, like, I get what they're going for here. That's supposed to show that Twitch and Spitfire's minds are kind of merging in this point, but it is a really funny scene here, unintentionally funny, of Spitfire and Twitch syncing. I've seen people like make memes of this, where there's that one Vietnam soldier reaction meme. People have been like photoshopping Twitch's face here into that meme. It's inherently funny, and yeah, it's not the best animation, but its comedy factor makes up for it. But anyway, just as Spitfire is about to finish the pairing process, a lightning bolt strikes both of them, and that causes both of them to go sent flying in different directions. And what seems to be Twitch ends up falling through the sky next to Robbie and Nightshade, so they check up on her alongside the rest of her family. And then we get this scene, which is the stinger set up for the next episode, where Twitch apparently says to Jawbreaker and Dot that, oh, you were right about Spitfire, Jawbreaker. She's a Chaos Terran. She's only important with causing chaos. We can't let her save our family. She's a threat to everyone. And people are saying this scene is, oh, also the Terrans condemning Spitfire. They're only doing that, though, because what they don't realize is that Twitch and Spitfire have swapped bodies. This is Spitfire in Twitch's body, as shown by her eye flickering towards the very end of the episode. So Spitfire is saying in Twitch's body that, oh, Spitfire's a bad influence. She's pure evil. We can't be around her. And they only treat Spitfire like this going forward because they trust Twitch. If Twitch was truly in a situation, I think she would have said, hey, listen, I'm sorry I put you all in danger by bringing Spitfire here, but it's okay, she's not going to harm us ever again. I just don't want her around you guys. She wouldn't say, oh, Spitfire's pure evil and can't be around us. Like that. But anyway, that's how the episode ends, with Spitfire now in Twitch's body, and none of Twitch's family the wiser, and that will tie into the next episode. I will say there is one little con I have with this in the end, when Robbie and Nightshade are checking up on Twitch, and Robbie says, oh, are you okay, Twitch? You look really banged up, and I mean really, really, but literally, she doesn't have a scratch on her. She literally looks like how she normally looks throughout the entire series. Not even like a single new speck of battle damage on her. And that's like the one con I have with it. Literally, this fight is incredibly, incredibly brutal. I want this to be on the same level of fight as like Optimus and Megatron's fight back in episode 23 of season 1 of Prime, where you had literally Optimus punching Megatron so hard blood's coming out of his mouth, he loses some teeth in the process. Or at the very least, you could have had like Twitch's paint get all scraped up, have like slash marks from Spitfire's swords, maybe give her a bit of a black eye like you did in season 1. Like, oh man, like that would have made this so much better. But regardless though, absolutely phenomenal episode, phenomenal ending, love it. And so, that was my review of Transformers EarthSpark Season 2, Episode 6, Spitfire. Without a doubt, this episode, in my mind, gets 100 out of 10. The best episode of Season 2 so far. Zelda Williams makes Spitfire such an incredible character, and I love her character, just what her drive is, because it seems to be that since she wants to beat Twitch she wants to prove she's better than Twitch. She wants to take away everything she loves, because if she can't be a winner just by pure skill, and Twitch is only because of her family, she doesn't think that's how it should be. She thinks people should only be around other stronger, like only the strong should be together. And only the strong should dominate the weak, essentially. And I think maybe that's why Spitfire had a strong bond with the Ember Shards back in the Stardust episode, where maybe Spitfire felt that, like these Maltos don't really get what it means to be a winner, essentially, or to be the best. So, but if these Chaos Ember Shards will create Chaos Terrans that think and act like me, maybe I can go take that and create people that aren't like me, somewhere where I feel like I belong. because I think there is a way that Twitch, or Spitfire, I mean, could have based better, fit in with the Multos, and with some coaxing from Twitch and the others, that could have been good. But because also since the Twitch and the other Terrans are still children, they're not going to get it right either. And I think that sets up such a strong character with Spitfire that we'll be seen exploring a bit more throughout the remainder of the season, and hopefully throughout the rest of Season 2, because, again, Spitfire, in my opinion, is the best villain EarthSpark has had since Agent Croft. And I love her. I love her so much, and I really can't wait to talk more about her throughout the rest of this season. Zelda Williams did a great job as her, and Catherine Kavari, easily one of her best episodes as Twitch, besides, I'd say Security Protocols, and the last 2 episodes of Season 1, back in Season 1. But anyway, that's gonna be for this long-winded review. I'll be back next week with Episode 7, The Imposters. If you like this review, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you guys later.